Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
If you look in the mirror and you say his name 5 times, he'll appear behind you.
He's a mystery.
Candyman.
He's a legend.
They ain't never gonna catch him.
For Helen Lyle,
Do I know you?
he's become an obsession.
A woman died in there. Leave it.
Now she's determined to find him.
It ain't safe around here.
If it's the last thing she ever does. Candyman, rated
Starts
R.
Friday, October 16th at a theater near you.
Who was that guy?
That guy's great.
All right, starts Friday, October 16th. I think when this releases, it'll be maybe October 17th, so we'll be like 30 years and 1 day.
That's awesome.
Movie Life Crisis Season 2, Episode 22, our bonus episode, Candyman.
Jesus.
And we've heard the feedback from you guys. Y'all have said, look, you guys went to the same small school and the same small high school, and you're both 40-something-year-old white guys who are chubby, and you have beards, and you're from the same small town, and we've had enough of that. So we brought in a horror correspondent, the Roger, for this movie, and we brought in a 40-something white guy who's chubby with a beard from our exact same hometown and our exact same schools. Welcome in, Shawn.
Hey, yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Really coming to diversify.
Yeah, people spoke out and we said, look, man, loud and clear, we can add more. We got bearded, chubby, 40-year-old white guys from Hammond that we can keep just bringing them.
We are doubling down on what they said. We got it.
Except no one said that. No one said we need more bearded, chubby white guys. We just, on our own, decided we needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to do this one.
And also, really, true story, I didn't want to watch this movie. I don't like scary movies.
Did you?
If it's not Christina Aguilera Candyman, I'm out.
Oh, man.
So,
man.
Shawn very graciously stepped up to the plate, and him and Jeff are going to talk about this movie. So, Jeff, take us away.
Dude, real fast, when you got the trailer sound effect or the trailer thing, did you watch the trailer too or no?
No, hell no.
You're such a wuss.
I picked the shortest one because I didn't want to watch the like 2.5-minute ones because the still on YouTube was like bugs crawling out of a guy's eye sockets. And I was like, no, not watching that. No chance.
That's awesome.
Do you know anything about Candyman?
I know.
Okay.
I know that he can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew.
Oh, man.
No, I know nothing about. I know if you say the name a bunch of times in the mirror, something happens.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah. I have questions for you guys, probably.
I won't be able to answer them without crying, so it's fine. That's why Shawn is the horror correspondent, and I'm just watching this movie with him. So you want to start it off? You want to do a quick synopsis? All right. The Candyman, a murderous soul with a hook for a hand, is accidentally summoned to reality by a skeptic grad student researching the monster's myth. So she's looking up this urban legend about a guy named Candyman who has a really long backstory, which I'll talk about later. But she is doing like a thing on urban legends for her. Is it for like a dissertation? Is that what it was?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And her and another friend are doing a thing. And they're like, oh, an urban legend. Let's see how real it is. And then they stand in front of the mirror and do the thing that they do. And then terror ensues from there. So
was it terror? Did you feel terror in the second watch?
Dude, I don't know, man. For some reason I just felt uneasy. And I wasn't like scared and not like, oh no, now when I turn the lights on in the bathroom, I'm going to see Candyman. It's not like that, but like, man, I was like, I kept pausing it and just like walking back in the living room where my family was. Like, hey guys, I was just checking on y'all, seeing what's going on. And then I would go back to the bedroom and start watching it again. There was a couple of jump scares, but not like anything that got me. And I'm not like dreaming about Candyman or anything, but the whole time I was just like, oh, I feel weird. I think I was supposed to.
Yeah, I think so. I think the movie's like one of those more uncomfortable movies than like scary, quote unquote. It's just weird and tense a lot.
Like, it's kind of like sad. Like when I got to the end, I was just like, is this how I'm supposed to feel about a scary horror movie? But it certainly does the job. It holds up because it's 30 years later. Like JT said, almost to the day. And I don't know, man. It still, I think, did the same thing it did the first time, when I watched it. It was less than 30 years ago, but it was definitely it definitely messed up. I can remember feeling uneasy before, not scared, just weirded out.
I remember being a lot more scared. I saw it in theaters.
Ooh, nice.
I think maybe one of the reasons JT brought me in was because my parents were letting me watch horror movies when I was like 10. And there's no supervision.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
And other than the bugs coming out of your eye sockets, you seem totally normal now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's funny. You'll have a question at the end of these. We'll get to it about like, is it okay for kids? And in my view, it won't be any surprise.
Nice.
All right, I wanted to hear the first time you guys saw this movie, but first let's do the other budget gross stuff.
Yeah. $6 million budget. It made $25 million, so did all right. Not so bad. Not bad.
They got a good deal on bugs.
Yeah. Dude, there's a really cool thing about the bugs too.
Nice.
Special
awards?
bees. So awards. I had the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. Virginia Madsen won Best Actress. At the Saturn Awards, which is always on this podcast, Best Actress Virginia Madsen, she won that again. It won some stuff. It got some recognition.
Yeah, best actress from the Hoboken Auto Journal.
Yeah. That the free.
I would love to see a Fangoria Chainsaw Award on somebody's mantle.
I bet she still has it. This is the movie I know her from. I'm sure she's done other stuff. I don't know her from anything else though. Sequels and spinoffs.
Weren't there a bunch of sequels? I feel like on YouTube, I had to search through a lot of Candyman shit to get to this trailer.
The problem was last year was was it last year? The Jordan Peele one?
Yeah, 2021.
Did you see that one?
I did. I saw that one recently.
How was that? I didn't see it.
I find this movie more interesting than scary.
Yeah.
It's like there's weird stuff behind it, behind the scenes that we might talk about. And then same thing with the Jordan Peele one. I got a whole rundown on that.
Nice.
30 years in the future for y'all's podcast. So.
Yeah, that's a long time away. Dude, all the Jordan Peele, but the fact that he wrote it, it's going to be kind of weird because he's got a lot of that stuff.
Apparently, he said this movie scared the shit out of him when he was younger.
Yeah.
And he wanted to rewrite a movie from Candyman or the black perspective rather than the white perspective, which was one of the problems he kind of had with this one.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair.
Absolutely fair. I was thinking that the whole time, and we'll talk about like with the settings and all that stuff and where it takes place. But man, it's just, I don't know. It freaking weirded me out. I can't imagine what Jordan Peele did it. So was it better or no? Which one's better, the newer one?
I give him a tie. I know it's a cop out, but I'll give him a tie because this one was kind of iconic in its own way. I remember watching this at 12, and everybody wanted to say Candyman in the mirror, and it was good for teens and things of that age that were really wanted to get freaked out by it.
Totally remember that.
The new one's way more kind of artsy, but it's not really scary. And to be honest, there's no real hero in the new one, so it's kind of like how you felt at the end of this one, where you're like, "Is this how I'm supposed to feel?"
Yeah.
The new one's a whole lot of that. It's like, why am I rooting for this guy?
Yes. No, I like feeling like, not while I'm watching it. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this is stupid. Why am I in here? I feel stupid. I feel dumb. And I feel sad. And I don't think I should feel this way. And then when I'm done, I was like, hey, that was pretty good. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, let's talk about the first time you guys saw this movie, Jeff. You remember the first time and speaking of chubby white guys, you and our friend Big and Gone But Not Forgotten?
Yeah. This was definitely a big and special. I remember it. We started it at his nanny's house, the farm out in Holden. Something happened. We fell asleep or something like that. And I think Biggin had already seen it, and he said, let's rent it and we'll watch it. And we started watching it, and then we couldn't finish it. And then we went to my parents' house the next night, and he stayed over at my house. And we were watching it again. And JT will remember this. The hallway at my parents' house, right as you open it up to go to the back of the house, that wall that faces the hallway door is a floor-to-ceiling mirror. That worked out really great for me for the next 5 weeks after.
Yeah, perfect.
So I just... Plus, our bathroom has a switch that's behind the door. So you would have to walk in and turn the light on behind the door. So you're already in the room facing the mirror. It's terrifying. I hated every freaking second of it. But this was definitely, I totally remember it because we finished it at my parents' house. My dad was like, what the hell are y'all watching? There's a guy, like JT said, with bees coming out of his mouth. I can totally remember being scared, being really glad that Biggin slept in the same room as me that night. But now I'm not scared. Like now, that's what I'm saying. Like now I look at that movie completely different, which is I'm glad because I don't want to be scared of it. I like looking at it and feeling uneasy. I think that's the feeling they were trying to go for. But I don't know. We'll talk more about that.
No, I think so. I asked my wife about it. First time I saw it, I guess, just to go there, is I think you guys like to drop like old theaters. So Town and Country Plaza Theater.
Nice.
Yep. 2 screens. Awesome seating, which was very hard. Definitely saw it there the first time, and I cannot remember. I imagine somebody had to bring me because I was like 12, but I do not remember who I was there with. And I don't remember if I tried to say Candyman into the mirror afterwards.
Have you since then, though?
I didn't see the movie, but I distinctly remember like Jason Segel staying over at my house and him being like, dude, let's go in the bathroom and say Candyman. And I think he made it like 4 times and I socked him in the stomach. I was like, don't even think about saying it one more time because I'm not ready for whatever might happen or might not happen.
So you never played Bloody Mary or any of that stuff either?
No, I was a huge chicken shit even back then. I don't want to tease creatures from other dimensions. I don't want people with bees in their face coming to my house in the middle of the night.
What are you going to do? Release the dogs or the bees or the dogs with bees in their mouth? And when they bark at you, they shoot bees.
When they bark, they shoot bees.
I still can't believe you've never even seen the trailer.
I mean, I watched parts of the trailer as I was ripping the audio, but I was very like when we did Bram Stoker's Dracula, I didn't think that was that scary.
Yeah.
However, I watched it in the daytime with the lights on my laptop, with my laptop like pushed far away from me. So if it ever did get kind of scary, I could just look out the window at like nature and shit.
Gosh, that's awesome.
So like if I had watched it like in your house with the lights off with the surround sound, I might have had a very different opinion on how scary that movie was.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I'm not trying to like dig into Candyman. Y'all got that.
I appreciate that response though. That's kind of like what the main character's friend is like through this whole movie is like, what are you doing? Why are you going in there? What are you saying in the mirror?
Why even try it? Right.
Yeah, that's the reasonable. Wait, Shawn, I want to know, like, so you're 12, you go like, hey, I want to see this R-rated movie where the guy has bees crawling out of his face. It's called Candyman. He's going to come through the mirror from another dimension and murder people. And your parents are like, all right, cool. Hop in the car. And then do they go in the movie with you or they like buy you a ticket and they go, it's fine, he's our kid? Well, how does that work?
I want to say it's my dad going to the movie with me.
Okay.
There's a story. Apparently, he took me to Conan the Destroyer when I was 1 or 2, and I was wailing and crying in the theater,
awesome.
And he had to like take me out. But he tells it fondly, like it's a great event for him.
Of course, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I guarantee it was him for sure.
All right, that's amazing.
That's really good. JT, I decided I think you need to embrace the man pond. Do you remember that thing that I used to have?
Oh, do I still do that? The giant wad of napkins.
So I would do this thing when we went, especially like early 2000s scary movies where it was like The Haunting. For some reason, I like watching those movies. It's a lot of jump scares and scary stuff like that. I would take napkins in the movie theater and roll them up. And then I would just like squeeze it when I was feeling like, oh no, is something going to jump out? And then by the time I was done, I would like let go and it would stay in that position. Like it looked like a tampon made of movie napkins. And Johnny, then I used to call it my man pond. Dude, you should try that, JT. It's definitely worth it.
I do that all the time. I saw Free Solo, the documentary where the guy free climbs El Capitan. And I went through like 7,000 napkins during that movie because the whole thing I was clenched.
Tense.
I mean, it's a documentary. If he had died, I probably would have known going in. I'm saying,
yeah.
But still, I was just like, oh my god, he's gonna freaking climb the whole 2 hours. I was just
and it was
down
tense
hard on
too,
napkins.
though. Like how the camera angles they showed. I finally watched it, by the way. It was good.
Yeah.
The scene of him in the one point where he has to like make a leap about 1,000 feet up or whatever from one section is just. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen, regardless of.
That dude would definitely say Candyman 1,000,000 times in the mirror. He does not give a
He does not. He doesn't. Oh, man. That's awesome.
All right. Ooh, Shawn, how'd you rate this? 1 to 10, no 7s. How many chimmy dogs?
I'm rating it 5 because I both didn't really enjoy it, but I also kind of respect it for being an important movie for people like Jordan Peele and just, it got a lot of kids to try and say Candyman at the mirror. So
boy, did it. So you went with 5 because you liked it and you had some good stuff to say about it, but it wasn't great.
Right. And I turned and asked my wife and I was like, she'd never seen it before. And I was like, did you find this scary? And she's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sounds like a hard ass pterodactyl.
Yeah,
She is kind of.
she free solos too. She climbs mountains with no ropes. So, and I always wonder that because I struggle with how I rate stuff, especially since JT said no sevens, and he, I guess, knew that going in that I would give everything a 7. So he made that caveat right up in the front. So I didn't want to give it a 5 because I didn't. I liked it more than that, and even 6 didn't sound like it was enough. But I don't want to give it an 8. So I went.
Sure,
with, I went
yeah.
with 6.5 Jimmy dogs because I didn't.
That's solid.
I agree with you. I like that this isn't a blaxploitation type horror movie where it's like a Blackula or something like that. But it's a black antagonist. I like that. That was cool. But it was told from the white person's perspective, so that was not ruined, but like changed it. And there's things I liked about it, and I liked more than I didn't like, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough movie to rate. You know, it's
really tough for the stuff that we talk about too. Like, what's the 3 best scenes and the 3 best quotes? Like, I was having trouble coming up with quotes.
I came up with one that I really like. So
I do feel for this movie having grossed $25 million 30 years ago, and me not only not seeing it, but making sure I didn't see or hear anything about it. But I still knew you couldn't say Candyman. And like, it got into the culture. I'm saying clearly there's something to be said for that.
Dude, I can remember at parties, people are like, let's go in the bathroom and see Candyman. It's like, what are we doing? Why am I friends with you people?
Kids are so stupid.
Yeah, way stupid. So we got our Ouija board and then we left the party. No.
It's kind of like The Ring for the old days.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like every generation's got their movie, whether it's Bloody Mary or
Blair Witch Project. Remember that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny hated that movie.
I got sick during that movie.
Oh man, like sick because it was so scary.
The motion sickness piece,
Yeah.
it was so just like all over. It's like my uncle was filming something. It was
Yeah, the Born Identity, like shaky cam going everywhere.
Strap it to a dog, let him run. Yeah, so dude, I don't know what to give it. So I gave it a 6.5. That's final answer.
All right, awesome. Best, Jeff, get us started. What's your first best scene?
All right, so in the very beginning, there's they're telling the story of Candyman. This girl's like narrating stuff, and they're telling the story of this girl whose boyfriend comes over. She's like, "Let's do the Candyman thing," and she's gonna. They're in the bathroom, and she's taking her shirt off, and he's gonna, what he's gonna do. She decides to do the Candyman thing, and he's not feeling it. And then she says it and turns off the lights, and then the next thing they show like the ceiling where she was upstairs is all covered in blood. I like the way they set the whole thing up. And then I started thinking, like, is that all? Do you remember? How about this, Shawn? Do you remember how many people Candyman killed in this movie?
I want to say it's not a lot.
Yeah,
maybe
so
like
that's what I was
5?
I was trying to think of at the end. It was like, do you count that chick in the beginning? Because that's just a story. And then the psychiatrist, and then I couldn't think of anybody else that he really killed, did he?
No, and that's the thing. Like, you never see any of the kills except for the psychiatrist.
That's
guy.
the only one. Right. So I like the way they set up that whole beginning thing, the reenactment and the blood coming through the ceiling and her screaming. So that's my first scene. What's your first scene?
I was just, when I heard you talk about blood, I just picked up my phone and I got on Instagram so I wasn't getting too scared. So just when you're done with the scene, just throw me a thumbs up on camera so no.
Get out of here. You can handle it.
I guess my first favorite scene would be, I'm just going to start earlier in the movie because I don't want to get to the one of the last scenes first.
Right.
I enjoyed when the crazy white lady, let's just call her Virginia Madsen, and her co-conspirator are going to Cabrini Green to just investigate, and it's really just like a weird sort of white people or it's white person exploring like a thing they've never been to, like looking at like at Cabrini Green like it's an alien planet,
right? Like a
and
zoo.
She keeps having like no fear, pushing and pushing. The lady's like, "What are you doing? Why are you going through this moldy hole in the wall through a mirror?"
The whole time she was doing that, that's all I could think of. Exactly what you just said. Like, she's not even treating this place like it's where people live. She's just like,
yeah, she's like an anthropologist almost.
Right.
Kind of like,
right.
Oh, wow, look at these, bizarre foreign folks that live here in Chicago, 2 blocks away from me.
Right. Like I think about like all of the times like in Britain where they would take like, hey, here's some people from the Kingdom of Benin, and we take them, which is like Nigeria now, and they just have them in a cage where people can like walk by and like wave to them and like throw peanuts at them and stuff. I was like, what the hell's wrong with these people? That's how I pictured it too. When she was there, I was shocked that that's how it was going.
Weird that it's a favorite scene of mine, but like I just like that she got all this pushback from all the characters around her who happen to be black and more normal thinking than she was. It was just like fearlessly going where she shouldn't be.
She was laser focused on her thesis for her paper. Dude, I'm glad you said Cabrini Green because that's my deep dive. Because I knew a little bit about Cabrini Green. JT, you ever heard of that? The Cabrini Green Housing Project?
I didn't see a thumbs up, so I wasn't fully listening. What happened?
Okay, yes. Have you heard of Cabrini Green Housing Project?
No, is that a salad?
It is. It's like a salad. If it's by salad, you mean where they house poor people and then don't care about them anymore. So Cabrini Green is the housing project for like Good Times, the TV show, that whole thing. It started in like the mid 1800s. They built all these really big high rises. And then basically just like let them go downhill. They put people in these houses and everybody's like, this is the best house I've ever lived in. Thank you so much for doing this. And then they just didn't do anything else. So like they didn't fix the elevators when they broke. If there was crime, they never worried about it. They didn't, there's vagrants living in empty apartments. Nobody did anything about it because they didn't lock it. And the homicide rate and the murder rate and stuff like that, the crime rate was really high.
It was straight up a terrifying place to live. Like anybody. It had to be. It was just
this whole setting. Like I knew a little bit about it. Like if you go look at it now on Google Maps, it's been gentrified and like there's like cafes with like $5 friggin' little tiny sandwiches and scones, and that's not what it was like back then.
It's been in a couple movies. I wish I could say off the top of my head what they were. I mean, it's definitely like one of the most famous housing projects because I think it was just so bad.
You'll know this. What's the one with where Keanu Dracula, where he has the little kids playing baseball and he's their coach or something? I want to say Hardball.
Bad News Bears? No.
Hardball.
Is it Hardball?
I think it's Hardball. That takes place in Cabrini Green. The kids, all the kids are from there.
Did you read about the story about kind of what Candyman was partially based on? It was like a true story, a true crime thing that happened in Cabrini Green.
Oh, snap. No.
Okay, so in 1987, apparently there was a 52-year-old woman who had some mental issues and called the police saying that people were climbing through her medicine cabinet trying to get her, and they ignored it, and they didn't go for like 2 days. They eventually found her dead, and what turns out is that the whole thing about the mirrors just leading to other rooms, other buildings, is totally true. The construction was so poor, you just poked the medicine cabinet out and people would crawl through and like steal things from other apartments.
So the two medicine cabinets from the two adjoining or close apartments were just together.
Yeah, you could just, it was a doorway basically.
Crazy.
I remember reading something in the last couple of years, I think about a kind of a tenement housing in New York that had gentrified like that. And someone like some 28-year-old hipster girl who lived in this apartment, it's like, yeah, I figured out that I could pull out my medicine cabinet, then I could climb through it, and I got to like a whole extra like 3-bedroom apartment that was all boarded up that no one knew about, that no one lived in.
It's a fun treehouse.
She knocked a hole out of the wall and made a door, and now she's got a twice as big apartment.
Yeah. What's your next scene, Jeff?
My next scene is when she gets taken to a psychiatric hospital. And the psychiatrist is talking to her about Candyman. She's like, yeah, I was just strapped to that table and he was in the room with me. And he shows her the videotape of her in that room. And of course they don't see anything except her freaking out. And like Shawn said, that's the only person that you actually see Candyman kill, which is really jarring because
it's intense. It's an intense kill.
And a lot of other stuff is like, oh, is this like a figment of Helen, isn't her name Helen? Helen's imagination. Like, is that what all of this is? And then all of a sudden, boom, you see him like actually there. And then he gets sucked out backwards out of the window. That shit was cool. I really like that part.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome for practical effects. You can kind of see the ropes in some of the videos I watched, but regardless, it was like I did not expect that. Like he's standing against a third floor window and just kind of just like a bat or something flies backwards out of the window.
This is the weird thing too. Like when you see him do that instead of just like disappearing or like walking through a wall and going away, or like when she goes into his I'm going to say lair and he's like just sleeping and she stabs him. Candyman sleeps? What?
Didn't expect that. Didn't remember that either.
Yeah, me either. And I was like, what's going on? Why is the bad guy just sleeping on the table?
Candyman seems like such a nice guy. I'm surprising that he would murder a mental health professional like that.
No, he's a really good guy. He's a Candyman.
We all really liked him.
A lot. Yeah, so psychiatrist death scene, that's the one. That's the one I'm going to go with. That's my second one.
Shawn, what do you got next?
Actually, for a second, I had the exact same scene.
Nice.
I have Candyman flying out the window after he jacks up the doctor in my notes. So
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the way he exited the building. It made me think that he was kind of like they used some vampire stuff with him. You guys just talked about Dracula, so I had that in mind. It's kind of a weird love story about some immortal, weird guy that flies out of windows and she tries to stab him while he's asleep. I was like, there's kind of like some weird Dracula stuff going on here.
And not only that, like, because we just did that, like the time where he's like, it was always you, Helen. And the whole time I was like, holy crap, this is freaking Mina or whatever her name was. Mina and Dracula all over again. Mina. Yeah. Like, I don't.
You're like, that's so sweet. He just really likes this woman. That's why he's in her psyche behind the mirror tormenting her.
There's, by the way, a black guy and a white woman. People did have some problems with that.
That's true.
Yeah, nice. Not the murdering so much, but the fact that he was black.
Dude, the director went to the NAACP and talked to him and said, like, hey, this is what we have. How's this? And they're like, yeah, it looks like super fun. I'm glad you picked a black guy to be the antagonist. And then, like, they released it. Most people liked it, but a bunch of people were like, nah, you can't do that. That's
Shawn, you got a third best?
Third best scene, I guess, is it's a weird scene. It's right after the point where she tries to stab him while he's asleep. They have this whole scene, which is, I guess, the most famous scene where he just opens his mouth and he's got these bees pouring out and he does this kiss to her, like, I guess trying to fill her mouth up with bees. I don't know. And then she passes out. There's not a lot of sense to be made of it.
Yeah.
But it's a neat shot. The room spins around a lot.
It's totally cool, though. It's cool to look at.
Yeah.
Dude, he flew out of a window and he just opened his jacket to show his rib cage filled with bees. You can totally suspend belief. Did you see the thing? Did you see the thing about the bees that they used for the movie? How they were bred specifically for this movie? They could only be 12 hours old. That way, their stinger wouldn't be powerful enough to do real damage. So, like, the dude actually freaking Candyman had an actual mouthful of bees. Also, passed.
That's dedication to the craft. A funny story about that, and you may know this too. He actually negotiated in his contract to get an extra $1,000 for every bee sting.
Nice.
And apparently he got $23,000 extra because he got stung 23 times.
That's craziness. Dude,
if you want to know if I would rather watch Candyman or have a mouthful of bees, I'm going bees.
What?
Wow.
What?
Because I'm not scared of bees, but I am scared of Candyman.
I am terrified. No, you know what? I'm not scared of bees. I'm scared of wasps.
Yeah, mouthful of wasps, way worse.
You mean great value bees?
Dude, I don't. What are wasps even here for? I hope they're in the food chain somewhere because I freaking hate them.
Why do we even have that lever?
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. I don't like, and of course, because I'm an idiot. Every time a wasp flies by my head, I'm like, get out of here. There's a bee around here. But it's not a bee. But all the bees are dying. And we need Candyman more than ever right now to just...
He's the one to save them.
He's going to save the bees.
He's like Captain Planet.
Yes, except he kills
With all our powers combined, we summon Candyman.
To bring back the bees.
Oh, man. I don't not disagree with your last scene. I really like that.
All right, let's do some quotes. Jeff, you got any quotes?
Yeah, I have two. One is when Candyman is narrating over a swarm of bees, and he was just like talking about, because he's an urban legend, if people don't talk about the urban legend, then he goes away. So the whole idea that this silly white lady is trying to discredit the urban legend makes it even worse. And he's talking about like, I'm the whisper in the school room and all that stuff. But there's a part where he's talking at the end and they say they will say that I have shed innocent blood, but what is blood if not for shedding? With my hook for a hand, I will split you from going to your gullet. I came for you. I was like, holy shit, that guy's voice is awesome. He really kills it. And they put the little reverb
Tony Todd's
on it.
The man. He's a real friendly guy too. I met him at like a Comic-Con. Just I didn't really meet him, but got to shake a hand and say hello.
That's freaking sweet. I want to meet Candyman. Dude, just something about his voice. Like, when he's in the car park, like 40 minutes into the movie, the first time you really hear him talk, and he's got all that reverb on his voice, and he's already got the deep, raspy voice. That shit was way cool. I was all about it.
Mine is my low-key, maybe my favorite character in the movie, even though he's only like 6. It's Helen is trying to go into this bathroom where Candyman killed someone, and she wants to see the grisly scene or whatever, and this little boy, Jake, is trying to warn her off. He talks about the boy's special part, but he doesn't use the word. So when I say it in the quote, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Says they found it floating in the toilet. Can't fix that. Better off dead.
Little Jake. Just setting the crazy white lady walking around what she thinks is a zoo completely straight. That's a good quote. I should have picked that. Damn it.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
What's your next one, Jeff?
All right, so my next one, it's kind of long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but when she goes to dinner with the British guy who's a professor, and he tells the whole legend, where it's like the legend first appeared in 1890. Candyman was the son of a slave. His father was really good at mass producing shoes after the Civil War and all of this stuff. And he was polite in society and grown up really wealthy, or not wealthy, but in prestigious area of town. And he was really good at painting. And then they sawed his hand off with a rusty blade, and no one came to help him. And that was the beginning of his his ordeal. They smashed the hive of a set of bees and covered his naked body, and then the bees stung him to death. And then they burned his body, and they scattered his ashes in the area where Cabrini Green is, and that's why he's from there, or that's why he's in that area. That shit is terrifying, and that's a fantastic backstory as far as I'm concerned. I like that. That's good shit.
Yeah, not that you need a reason to kill white people, but that is a good one.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I mean I didn't really like the way that guy delivered the quote, because he was very hoity-toity, and it was like, hey man, I know all of this already. Again, I'm suspending belief for the mouthful of bees to get to this cool ass quote where the guy talks about the Civil War and shoes and honey and bees. What's your next one, dude?
The next quote I had was, it wasn't really my favorite quote. To be honest, one of the reasons I kind of gave it a 5 was Candyman. I wanted him to have some more snappy one-liners like a Freddy or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But he had these just really long, over-dramatic kind of speeches about I'm the whisper in the darkness and all this stuff,
right.
But didn't really hit that well.
Right.
I highlighted one of them just because the writer of the story that this was based on, I think he produced the movie too, Clive Barker. He also made Hellraiser movies. So for any horror fan,
yeah, he did.
If anybody knows anything about Hellraiser, the characters in that movie, won't go into detail, but they're all like kind of sadomasochistic, sort of love pain. Pain is their ideal, whatever.
Yeah.
So Candyman says a line, it's almost just like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Clive Barker line right there. He says, the pain, I assure you, will be exquisite.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite line or anything. It's just made me.
It stood out to you. No, that's all we're looking for. And you got to mention Clive Barker, and that's also something we want to do.
Yeah, and Clive Barker is also like my Rubicon for written. Like Stephen King, that's cool. Clive Barker, no, I'm good. Like that's the line that I won't cross, is the Clive Barker line.
You haven't watched all the Hellraiser movies?
No.
JT?
He's not watching that shit. I think I've only seen the first. How many is there? I think I've only seen 2.
I think there's like 6. I've only seen the first 3, and then I saw the new one on Hulu that's getting a lot of press.
One of my favorite things about horror movies is you always see like the behind the scenes, like the on-set footage of like the Hellraiser guy like having a cigarette like by the craft service table.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm so happy that those images exist, because otherwise I don't know that I could live in the world where those movies are made.
I had to do the exact same thing for Jake because we watched Train to Busan, which was great for a 9-year-old to watch that. And there's a zombie in that, and he was like, I don't know, probably shouldn't have watched that. And I was like, let me see if I can find behind the scenes and I can show you how they do the makeup. And there was just a dude eating a drumstick of fried chicken like that looked like a zombie. He was like, oh, okay, it's just regular dude. It's like, yeah, man, it's just regular dude. It's totally fine.
You're a good parent. I appreciate that.
trying to fix my mistakes so I don't have to wake up at 2 a.m. some kid screaming bloody murder in the other room.
I was gonna say a good parent would have maybe not shown him Train to Busan.
No
to
way.
begin with.
Dude, he wanted
I will say, here's a funny thing for JT. Like, if you want to look up this artifact, it's not scary at all, but you might enjoy it. It's very much in the same vein as what you're talking about. In 1991, 92 or something, MTV Spring Break, I remember watching this. Their special guest was Pinhead. And like the guy in full costume and makeup goes out onto this like South Beach, New Jersey
awesome.
set.
Completely covered Pinhead in all leather outfit and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Bright sun, total white makeup, all that.
That's
and
awesome.
It was so weird. Like he didn't dance around or anything. He just did his Pinhead thing, walking around a crowd of half-dressed young people.
That's freaking sweet. Let's do characters. What do you go first, dude? Who's your first best?
Oh, I love Jake. He's played by a guy named Dewan Guy.
Dewan Guy. I had him on there too.
He's got this great looking. He does this face whenever he's just like looking at Helen, the main character, doing something weird. And he's just like squinting his eyes real bad, just like, "What the hell are you doing?" kind of face.
Right.
Does it well,
dude. If more people had seen this movie, we could replace that meme where the kid like. There's the little tiny black kid looking at the white lady like, what are you doing? We could totally switch it out for Jake because he was killing that face. You're totally right. I had him as one of mine as well. I put Candyman, dude. Tony Todd. His voice. Something about his voice. Maybe it was the filters they were sending it through or whatever, or maybe he just has a cool voice. It was awesome.
He does some voice work now. Like there's a Masters of the Universe Netflix show or something done by Kevin Smith, I think. Tony Todd plays maybe Skeletor in that. I'm not for sure.
Holy crap, that's awesome. I need to check it out. Dude, I really something about his voice I really liked. But he did the good acting too. He was good at the whole thing. Dressed like a pimp with bees under his rib cage. And a hook for a hand. He was killing it.
And did he take time out from High Five to do this movie, or did they just work around it?
Not Tony Thompson, Tony Todd.
Oh, okay, sorry. Not Tony Thompson. Okay.
And the only reason I even know Tony Thompson is in High Five is because of Biggin. Yes. And the only reason I even know Candyman is because of Biggin. Biggin's the reason we're pretty much doing this podcast, I've decided.
He was the reason we know about many movies.
Yeah, that's for sure. He made me watch some really weird crap.
Dude, I can't wait until we get to some of the late 90s horror movies that either Jeff and I watched in the movie theater and then drove back in a totally silent car talking about, or that Biggin and I watched when I was at LSU. And then if it was really scary, at the end of the movie, he'd be like, "Hey, man, can I stay in your room?" Be like, "Nope, sorry, bud. Enjoy the living room right by the door where anyone would come in to murder us. I'm going to be in the back, all locked up tight."
Ah, man. I made sure he slept in the room with me. I was like, you're coming in. Just lay next to me in your tidy whities. I don't care. I don't want to be by myself in this room.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm out at my freaking scary-ass cabin, and y'all are saying, Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. And then Candyman came in. I'm like, we're like 75. I'm going to pack my shit up after this and sprint to my car with the flashlight.
I didn't realize you were at the cabin. That's awesome.
It's horrible.
Just don't look in the mirror because he can be in the back seat too. Just a heads up.
I'm so pro killing white people. Candyman, just pass by me, man. I'm on your side when you listen to this podcast.
Dude, Candyman, he says Candyman exactly 5 times when he's telling the story in the restaurant. Candyman doesn't show up. It's because he's not looking in a mirror. You got to be looking in the mirror.
Right. And Christina Aguilera is still with us, so I feel like there's some workarounds.
I don't really, I don't think she'll save you, but that's just me.
All right. Next character.
Yeah. Who's your next character?
I went weird with it. I made Philip Glass music the character.
Yeah.
I thought the music was kind of cool. There's this thing where it starts off as sort of playground nursery rhyme, very simple kind of keys and stuff, and then it just gets all orchestral and sweeping and stuff as the movie goes on.
Yeah, it does. And by the end, it's super heavy-handed. It's really good. Yeah.
It's real heavy-handed.
Yeah.
So JT might not like it. He hated the Bram Stokers. So.
It's
which I own the CD for. I really enjoyed it.
Dude,
I thought
it totally set the mood, though.
Super ridiculous.
Dude,
fun.
it set the mood.
Man, the more I was thinking about it, the more I feel like Bram Stoker's Dracula I missed a lot not having surround sound or in theater with the movie and the sound effects. I think the laptop made that really hard.
You should watch it with headphones on. That way you can't hear Candyman from behind you while you're watching it on the laptop.
Yeah, I watch it with headphones on, sitting in my closet with the door closed and the lights on and a shotgun in my lap.
And it's just, you can hear your teeth rattling around the thing. So that, oh wait, no, that's a different movie. Yeah, dude, the music was fantastic for me too, because when they do that aerial shot where they just show people driving for 4 minutes and it's just like a tiny little piano. I was like, I've recognized the music because I was like, oh yeah, that's Candyman. Now I'm putting it all together. But dude, by the end, I was like, ooh, like the whole, when the bees are coming out of his mouth, like you were talking about, and everything was spinning around and the music was swelling. I was like, ooh, shit, that's kind of cool. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good call. The last person I had was Helen. This is the thing I liked about Helen. She kept the story moving forward at a nice pace. Didn't like we were talking about, she's a white lady. She's pushing black people around in their own houses. And I didn't really like the whole her husband and hooking up with the student at the end. Like, I didn't think that needed to be there, but maybe it gave her another reason to be at the very end with the burned head. I just didn't. I liked that she kept moving everything forward, and it's and I like that. I thought she played the character, like what's her name? Virginia Madsen.
That is Virginia Madsen.
Yeah, Virginia Madsen. I like that. I like how she played it, because like she says the name 5 times, or they say it 4 times together that first time, her and her friend, and then the friend doesn't say it, and then she does. And nothing happens. And I was like, well, what the hell is this? I thought Candyman. I don't remember. And then like how she played it. I thought she did a good job.
She played a bad character great.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great way to say that. Absolutely. So I put her down because something about her kept me watching. What's your third one?
Next character for me, I just gave a little shout out to Vanessa Williams. She plays the lady named Anne Marie McCoy. She's the mother that Helen goes to kind of question in the apartment. She has the baby that leads to the sequel.
Yeah.
That's basically. And also, it's a weird kind of tie-in with that 1987 story, because that person's name was Ruthie Mae McCoy, the woman who actually got killed in the Cabrini Green.
They had to have done that on purpose, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, the director had read that story, too, somewhere before writing the script.
That's freaking genius. That's cool. I like how they tied in like that.
All right, so neither of you guys picked the bees, just to be clear.
Nobody picked the bees. I don't like the bees.
Bees did a great job.
I'm scared of bees.
And they were real. They weren't CGI. They were specially bred for this.
Dude, they were definitely real.
That had to be half the budget.
That's why movies back in the day were just so much better. Today they would just CGI'd some bees, and this dude had to literally have a mouthful of bees.
Even Virginia Madsen had bees crawling all over her face too. So like,
yeah,
everybody was fine with it. I'm sure the bee, I'm going to say wrangler, was calming everybody down and gone like, don't worry about it. They're less than 12 hours old. This is going to be perfect. If they sting you, it won't even hurt.
Well, and they have that thing that looks like a fire extinguisher. They just spray all the time to make the bees feel calm, which I'm guessing is probably some kind of marijuana.
It calms me down when I use the smoke thing all up in my face.
There's a rapper who recently did that. He was like, why use dry ice at my concert? I'm just blasting marijuana smoke into the audience.
That sounds
I
like
remember just reading that today.
that sounds like the angry white people who are like, please do not give your marijuana gummies to my kids for Halloween. I'm like, ain't nobody giving away good drugs.
No one's giving away drugs.
Dude, I didn't do any actor background. I don't know if you did that. But I didn't even really do like the writers. I talked about Clive Barker doing Candyman, Hellraiser, Nightbreed, which I remember watching, also with Biggin. And then the director is Bernard Rose. Dude, I didn't really recognize too many other things that he had done that I've seen, except the Red Red Wine UB40 music video and Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax music video. I hadn't seen anything he's done.
I was emotionally scarred by that video, actually. My aunt would watch it nonstop, constantly, and sing it all the time.
Which one? The Frankie Goes to Hollywood or the UB40?
The UB40.
Those guys are still making music, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
They are.
They're killing it. That's the only things I had for the directors and the writers because I didn't. You know a lot more about Clive Barker. I've never read any of his books either. When JT was saying like I don't read his books, I don't know that I've ever even tried to read any of his books. Again, Stephen King's my jam, but
either. I'm a bad reader.
Yeah,
I've read a lot of Stephen King. I kind of pushed through it, but I fall asleep on a lot of books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I haven't
that counts.
Checked out Clive Barker's stuff. I just know that he's responsible for most of the 80s like horror villains and stuff. His name was always on stuff.
Yeah.
In the way that like almost every good science fiction movie in the last 40 years came from a Philip K. Dick story. Almost every good horror franchise came from a Clive Barker story.
Yeah, now I kind of want to read it.
Yeah, let me know how that goes for you. I'm not reading it.
Yeah, supposedly the original story is based in Liverpool, England. So it's like it's not a black-white thing, but it's more like a working class sort of versus like the upper cruster.
Yeah.
That's
hoity-toity English people.
It's more Irish
story.
English, like in the Patriot Games.
Yeah. That's kind of that movie. That's kind of that's
Delaware versus Vermont. Get your tickets, everybody. I don't care. It's just white people fighting white people.
Yeah,
I don't care about that.
I need to read it. I'm gonna check one out, and I'll let you know how it is, JT.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Do you have any more good stuff?
I do not. I don't have any more like writer, director, actor. We talked about all the stuff I had written down.
What about like sometimes I just have overarching good stuff, and I wrote this at the end. You know how it's an urban legend? When you think urban, you think city. Or well, in some cases, you think black or African American, but like it was an urban myth, and a lot of the movies that were coming out right before this, late '80s, were all set, like Halloween and like Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. All throughout the '80s, those movies were set in like little small towns or like the suburbs, and then this one was set like in the city, and it was in like almost public places where this dude would show up. Like that shit was terrifying when I was watching it. I was like, oh man, it felt more real to me. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, I agree. That was something that somebody, there's a professor or something in UCLA, and I can't remember her name right now, unfortunately, but she just literally wrote the book on Candyman and other black horror movies. And she talks about how that was, even though this movie's kind of like using the horror trope of the other is coming to get us, like us safe white people.
Yeah.
It reverses it in a way because it kind of takes Virginia Madsen into Candyman's territory rather than having a sole black man or sole like monster come to white suburbia or whatever.
Right. Dude, I think I read something from her thing. I totally read that same thing, and that is really awesome.
All right, let's get some worst. Who wants to start us with some worst?
This is all you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that dinner scene you talked about where you had the long quote about like Candyman's backstory.
Yeah.
I hated almost everyone in that dinner scene. Her boyfriend Trevor, played by Xander Barkley.
Douche.
He also plays a sniveling guy in like every movie. He's in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He plays like some sniveling guy. He plays Gregory in Walking Dead, who like is a terrible character.
Dude, the only worst that I had was when who was the guy that was pretending to be Candyman in the bathroom of Cabrini, Mr. Sweets or something?
I don't know his name. He was a funny like pimp sort of.
Dude,
I don't know.
Yeah, he had like the jacket on, like he was gonna be Candyman, like the leather jacket, and he had the hook. And then he like hits Virginia Madsen, hits her in the face I don't know, something about the way he hit her. I was like, that looked kind of crappy. They could have done that better. The makeup afterwards looked fantastic, but they could have done that better. And that's, dude, like, whether he even need to be there or not, I don't know. Like, that's not where I put my worst. I was just looking at like the effects and stuff, and I didn't like that.
I do have an effects one for too as well. It's the needle jab in the sanitarium.
Oh yeah.
They try to like put her to sleep. She's wilding out. She's seeing Candyman. And so they come in there. The nurse like pokes her in like the clavicle or something. And the needle just like it bends apparently. People who had high definition could watch it just like bend instead of going in her.
But when you watched it on a nice tube television in 240p, no, it wasn't even P. It was just
analog.
Yeah, it just looked really nice. It looked good.
It was a late night that night when they were filming. They were just like, all right, that's a wrap.
Yeah, it's fine. In the clavicle's fine.
They only had $6 million and they spent most of it on bee training.
Not training, wrangling.
Wrangling.
Bee wrangling. What other worst you got? I know you're feeling the worst on this one.
Honestly, I don't have any other worst written down.
Nice.
Just what I did find interesting, that writer that we were talking about, the UCLA professor, was just kind of like, a lot of this movie was just kind of like the academic white elite versus the, lower class black people that inhabited Cabrini Green and just everywhere else. And which is, it's not. And so it was annoying in that way of just watching all these upper cruster kind of like people just laugh. Somebody made a compilation of white people in Candyman laughing at black people's problems. And like, there's a lot of scenes where they're being told about Candyman and they're just like, ha 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 ha.
That's
you're a plumber. What on earth is that?
Yeah, dude, that's the struggle. Maybe that's why I felt part of the way I did. Like at the end, I was like, hey, cool. That was a black antagonist. And he was really kind of scary and kind of badass. And I liked him. And he's a lead character and he could make more movies just like this. And also all the other stuff, which is horribly bad, that was from the white lady's perspective. It showed them laughing at, like you said, laughing at black people's problems and poor people's problems. That part's not good. But I'm struggling with my 6.5, because the more I think about it, I'm like, maybe it should only be a 6 or maybe a 5.5. But I'm sticking with my 6.5. JT always makes me stick with it. I can't change it.
We're done.
No, we're not changing it. I understand. But the more I talk about it, and you bring up tons of good points, it makes me second guess it. I don't have any more worse either.
And that's kind of the political incorrectness too, right? The
there's
exactly.
tons of that.
Stodgy white people laughing at the poor black folks in the tenement.
That's all.
Yeah, basically the whole movie. It's like directed by white people, written by white people, about black people. White main characters, kind of like a white savior-esque character.
Yeah, that stinks.
Like Matthew Broderick in Glory.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm going to lead this black regiment of soldiers and be the hero.
Yeah, or like Charlie Sheen and Cadence.
Cadence, Jesus.
All the black guys stayed behind. He got released at the end. I hated that, even though I love that movie. All right, 5 questions. Is it okay for kids? What age and why? Jeff, take that first.
I say it was barely okay for me, and I'm 44, so I say no. Shawn has a different opinion, I'm sure but I showed my kid friggin' Train to Busan, so what the hell do I know? I don't.
Where are you at on this,
what age? Yeah, what age do you give it?
I'd say probably. I am a therapist, so like I love getting more business from kids, but so 12 plus though I'd go with probably. I think they could handle it as long as they're with some friends, and it'll be spooky, but they'll, it'll be a fun story to tell and scare each other with.
Yeah, and they'll get to do the Candyman thing, because once you get a certain age, you don't want to do it in the mirror anymore. Like JT's old enough to where he doesn't want to even say it in front of a mirror ever. So when you're younger, you don't.
I'm gonna make y'all call me on the phone as I sprint towards my truck just to make sure I make it all right.
What are we gonna do? We're just gonna listen to you die? I'm not gonna have that on my conscience.
That would be I want somebody to let my family know.
Yeah,
that I got murdered after recording a podcast about Candyman.
Like I distinctly remember being 8 or 9, going to a Leslie's video in Independence, I think.
Holy crap, dude, that's
my
awesome.
parents rented me I picked up 3 boxes. One was called The Progeny. It had a alien in a baby bottle. It was terrifying looking. One was Exterminator 2. It was just a guy on a mountain of corpses with a flamethrower and like a welding hat, just burning something.
This totally sounds like a mom and pop.
And one was House 1. Maybe there's a disembodied hand touching a doorbell or something.
Oh my goodness. Dude, you watch so many.
And it was
more
totally
horror
fine. Nobody questioned this or anything.
The thing that I don't understand is that you like to go camping and backpacking and hiking. I like to do that too. I couldn't sleep outdoors with thin material between me and nature if I had all that kicking around my head.
Never alone. I've occasionally camped alone. That's terrifying.
No, that sounds horrible. When you watch really scary stuff and it gets in your maybe, and we've talked about this before, maybe it's the going to Catholic school my whole life. The religious scary is wicked scary, and I think about that shit after the movie. So like, I can remember going to see Stigmata when that came out, and I remember going to see it with Johnny, and she's like writing on the wall in Arabic, and then she like turns around, and she's like, "The messenger is not importante," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the worst shit ever. Why am I even in my man pond? I'm like squeezing it tight. I got to yell to Johnny because he's 4 seats over because he doesn't want to think we're gay together." And
also a church thing.
I can't I can't get that out of my, like, how do you watch all of these movies, even at a young age, and like go, yeah, it's not real. I can fall asleep. Like I don't know how.
Oh, I didn't fall asleep. I think that was
awesome.
I remember watching Exorcist 3 when I was young.
Oh, jeez.
And that was one of these religious scary movies.
Absolutely.
And that was, I think it's still scary today. I think it's a really good movie that holds up even for adults, but it was terrifying.
Why would you want to do that? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I can't compartmentalize.
Well, I read something a couple days ago. There's research being done that's very new because it's really hard to study, but it's essentially demonstrating that watching scary stuff or listening to scary stuff has ways of relieving anxiety.
Huh. I could probably see that.
I think it's true. Like roller coasters, just coming from my therapist background stuff. One, I'm really good at compartmentalizing. I've got some past trauma. We're not going to get into it on the podcast. That won't be fun for anybody. But,
yeah.
I think horror movies kind of help me like work that out. And from what I've read, people who watched a lot of horror movies during the second and third waves of COVID actually felt more prepared overall and less like anxious about the whole deal than the people who did not.
I could totally see
and
that.
I think it's like, because you like mentally play out in a safe space all these like terrible things, but you're like JT, you're like, well, this is like really far away. I can look at the sky if I need to.
Right.
It's safe. It's in my house,
Yeah, and I wanted to, when COVID first hit, I really wanted to like rewatch Contagion and like every movie like that. I really want
Outbreak.
It seemed like it would be comforting to me, and I reread like every disaster novel and like World War Z and all that stuff. And my wife was like, nope, not watching that. Can't do that. Don't want to. But it was the same thing, like you said. To me, it was like, oh, yeah, they're going to figure it out at the end. And in the meantime, I'll be able to, like, kind of at a remove experience this thing that I'm experiencing in real life.
I wish I could back up and not, like watch something objectively, be scared, and not have it stay in there.
Catholic school does it to folks. I didn't even go for that long, and it still did it to me.
I'm not even Catholic, and it did it to me too.
Yeah.
Would this movie get made if it were pitched now? Yeah, Jordan Peele
literally made it last year.
Yeah. Dude, American Gothic movies are always going to be popular with American people.
Movie or TV show? It was a movie. Could you do this as a TV show?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It wouldn't have.
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't make it long enough. I think movie is the answer.
All right, let's do some recasting. Who you got for recasting, Shawn? Start it off.
Well, I was super lazy because they made it last year, so I just put the people they cast last year.
I saw that too.
Yahya Abdul Mateen II,
yeah,
which is a great name.
Fantastic name.
If you don't know that person, they were Dr. Manhattan in the new Watchmen on HBO.
Yeah,
nice.
Did a great job.
Dude, I almost went that same route. I was like, well, they just made it. They know what they're doing. I'm going to pick what they picked. But then I was like, no, that's phoning it in. Come on, I gotta lock it in. So then I started looking at, like, I went and looked at Tony Todd, how old he was when they made the movie. And then that's kind of how I start. And then I go like, all right, let's look at other actors that are that same age. There's the guy, what I knew him from was from Black Panther. He was his name's Winston Duke. He's the other, he wasn't Black Panther, but he was the other guy that was leading the other group.
He
the
would
giant
be good.
guy.
He's awesome.
Because he's kind of big. And he's got a deep voice and he's got a really nice scowl. I think he would be good at that. And then for Helen, I put Emma Roberts, American Horror Story. She's on that. She's in a couple other things. She's a white lady. So I didn't know if we were trying to keep the whole black guy, white lady thing, but just tell it in a different perspective. That's what I was hoping. But those are the people I picked.
So who plays the bees?
Wasps.
Yeah. You have to get wasps
some
this
wasps
time.
in there.
Some African hornets. No, what are the
murder hornets?
Murder hornets. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, those are Japanese, not African, right? Japanese.
Yeah, no
murder hornets?
Africanized bees though.
Africanized bees. Now we're talking.
More exploitation of.
Yeah, I can't believe we're just going to take the African bees out of their natural habitat just to bring them here to make a movie. Dude, the last question is: can you still watch and enjoy this movie now? I said yes. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I enjoyed talking about it a whole lot. I enjoyed watching it a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right for about half of the movies. Talking about it's more fun than watching them.
Dude, I got to be honest. When Jake is, I don't know, 40, I'll watch this with him and try to see what he thinks. He's kind of getting into scary movies, which I like. But he's also a huge titty baby like JT. So I don't know how to work that. But touch and go. We'll see how it works. I just got a text from my wife that says, "Hey, murder hornets, can you hold it down? We're trying to sleep." So I'm gonna not talk quite as loud, dude. Where can you? How did you watch it, Shawn?
I watched it on YouTube. I think through like Google TV or something. I think it's actually playing on a streaming service, Paramount Plus.
I think it's on Peacock. Yeah, Paramount Plus.
Oh, Peacock. That's what it is. Peacock. Okay.
That's good. I'm sure that they probably own the rights to the movie and the new one, and that's why they're streaming it on there.
And I think the new one's actually playing on HBO Max, though, if people want to watch it there.
Sweet.
I've seen it on, I don't know, they all run together now. There's like 80 streaming services, but dude, I only have HBO Max and Amazon Prime and Netflix. So it's one of those three.
My wife, like a couple months ago, she wanted to watch something. She's like, "Hey, I want to watch Severance. It's on Apple TV. Do we have Apple TV?" I was like, "No, we don't have Apple TV. We have Peacock and Hulu, and Netflix, and YouTube TV, HBO Max." I named like 11 streaming sites, so that's the one that we didn't have.
And Vudu and Chimichanga.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Dude, I got nothing else. That's I think that's the end. What's the next movie? Is Buffy the next one we're doing for Halloween?
Yeah, next movie is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Christy Swanson, Joss Whedon written and directed Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie featuring Luke Perry, who would have just celebrated his 56th birthday, except, spoiler alert, he died.
He died in the movie
and in real life.
Aziz, light! He pour some out for my homie Luke Perry.
He's got one of the best death scenes ever in that movie from Pee Wee Herman. So that'll be enjoyable for y'all.
I really like that movie. Dude, I'm very happy.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw that movie. And I've never seen the TV show.
Shout out to our horror correspondent, Shawn, who sat in for me because I am terrified.
That was awesome.
Of horror movies. I feel sure that we probably will have you do that again.
That would be lovely. Can't wait till 1993 comes. I feel like it's a better year.
I was going to say, you need to start prepping which movie you want to do for 93 because that would be awesome. Yeah, man. Appreciate you being here. Vio con Dios? Is that how we're going to end every episode? One of the kids asked me that. He was like, "Why do you always say Vio con Dios?" I was like, "Dude, that's a deep cut. You got to watch. You got to listen to all the episodes.
You got to go way back." Well, I mean, we can always just.
Oh, jeez.
Sweet sugar. Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review, and remember, don't drive angry.